Well,
I heard that breathing deeply, oxygenates and relaxes your muscles. So I've been doing it a lot.
welcome to Hypocritics. Today we're talking about The Away Team, a show by Raphael Cassell and
Nico Carey.
Honestly, this show is hilarious. Written by Raphael Cassell and Nico Carey, the two leads in this production. They are hilarious together. Their on-screen timing is amazing, and the jokes they've written for themselves are just fantastic. Every single second of this show I adored. When I first turned it on, I couldn't believe that it only had about 3,000 views. And now, a year later, I just can't believe it only has 3,000 views. Why is this show not taking off? It's hilarious. These guys are hilarious. They present these jokes so perfectly and so over the top that I'm always looking for that in the actors that we cast. But yeah, for some reason it hasn't taken off, and I've got no idea why.
I also have no idea why it hasn't taken off. I mean, I suspect deep down in the really, really sarcastic part of my brain that the show is received a little bit like Arrested Development was originally. It's a little bit too sophisticated for most audience members.
I don't know about that. It's not really sophisticated. It's pretty one note, but that note is amazing.
It's not over sophisticated to you. You're not normal, so that's a different argument. But my point is that I wonder if there are parts of it that go over people's heads because of the way that it's shaped and toned.
It's the kind of show you don't realize is actually really good.
Yeah, it's quite
better than you think.
It's brilliant, really, in many ways. And which brings me to my point about the two cast members. Now, usually I am vehemently against actors basically writing, directing, casting themselves. 9 times out of 10, it ends up really messy and unpleasant because many actors lack the outside eye that you need in order to be watching yourself and directing yourself to polish a piece. But these two have got it dead on, and for some reason they're just really aware of what they're doing and how they're doing. I suspect that they're friends and have been friends for a long time. I love the way these two interact, and it really is the centerpiece of the show, and it's totally against the norm. It's an example of actors casting, directing, and writing for themselves, and it working.
I think also they've got a good team behind this show. The production design, the overall artistic direction, the style of the show it's clearly quite low budget, but in such a convincing way. Like, they've got some instances of full body monster/alien costumes that move relatively realistically, and they're quite impressive in the technical ability of them. But then they've got props such as blue broccoli, and that too is extremely convincing as a magical orgasm plant that they eat. The color grading as well is really convincing in that they've clearly shot it on location somewhere in America's Grand Wasteland.
One of those great American deserts that always look fantastic.
That's a much nicer way of putting it. Yeah, they've clearly shot it in one of America's great deserts, but they've color graded it in such a way that it does look and feel like an alien planet. It's such a simple adjustment to change the colors that way, but it pays off immensely, and it's so impressive.
The sound design for the show is really, really good. When they're stomping around on these planets, you feel the earth moving beneath their feet, and you can hear all these weird animals in the background.
My favorite is always going to be that crunch when Raphael just leans over and plucks a piece of blue cauliflower up with his mouth. That crunch that you hear is just, it sells that joke so much better than silence would. So there you have it. This is a criminally underrated, fantastically hilarious web series that I personally think all of you should watch, and we all really enjoyed it. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to PVC Productions, and let us know in the comments what you think we should review next.
Cool stuff. I'm sure that
I'm sure one of those will be working.